conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me, but I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. I was talking about how I'm worried that you
Feeling
won't learn how
highly
to
attacked
socialize
already.
or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me. I know you're happy now, but I died the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years.
Does that really say
You know-
neat?
Yes! Right here.
That's hilarious. Go on. I'm listening.
You
You're
trust me. Don't
more
make
of my
me keep
attention.
worrying about you.
Radio freedom.
Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you
Quiet.
happy. No promises,
How we
though.
like it. Stay safe
You at
out
least
there.
promise. You'll try a little. I guess I'll promise you that. Why do I let myself get lectured by a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relate to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside her head. Screen wipe. Classroom. The school day is as ordinary as ever. It's over before I know it. After I pick up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start out with the anime club. Hello?
Aw.
Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late in your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori. Yeah? There's no way I'm going to your club. This bitch is pissed. Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware she had any interest in literature, and I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title of vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club.
Does sound like something Epi would say.
Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member, and Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead or if she's as cunning to have planned all of this out. And I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake. Yay, let's go.
Okay.
And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake.
Well, that's always good. Cupcakes
I
are good.
dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. Girl 1, welcome to the literature club.
Sweet.
Pleasure to meet you. Sayori always says nice things about me. Seriously, you brought a boy? Girl 2. Way to kill
Girl
the
is-
atmosphere.
Wait, Girl 2. Was that her name? Girl 2?
That's what they're labeled as right now.
Oh, okay.
Girl 3. Ah, Nabby, what a surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry.
What-
Girl
What type
1
of
says to
person
girl
is this
2.
game for?
Later on, this gets very, creepy and
Okay.
murdery.
Murdery too, huh? Oof.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, do you want me to skip to the part where it gets, murdery?
No, you can go at your own pace. I was just like, I'm not understanding why someone would buy this. That was my struggle, but it sounds like you
Yeah.
have a good grasp on the better events of it. So, go on.
The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student.
Hey,
She's also
head
the
over
one
there.
who
Go
made
there.
cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. That's Natsuki, always full of energy. This one is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. It sounds like you already know Monica. That's right, it's great to see you again, Natty. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other well. We rarely talk, but we are in the same class last year. She's probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, and athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So having her smile at me genuinely feels... You too, Monica! Come sit down, Natty. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. I made them. I'll get them. Bullshit. The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. What'd you say?
Is this the type of things you've done in your spare time?
No.
Okay. I'm listening. Keep going.
This is the only game I've ever played like this.
Okay.
As Sayori
Why?
mentioned, it's been widened, so there is one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over the corner of the classroom where Natsuki grabs a wrap tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki brings over the cupcakes. There's a lot of extra dialogue to it.
A lot of extra dialogue.
I now picture them going wah 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 wah.
That's kind
wah.
of it. I really want to get to the part where it's real murdery and shit.
Okay. Then you do as you need to do, brah. Keep going. Womp it out if you need. Because so far, I'm not understanding why someone would play this. But
So, a lot of this is set up for the,
murdering.
it's set up for you establishing yourself into the, literature club, hanging out with
That you
a bunch
didn't
of
want to?
girls.
Hanging out with the girls.
Yeah. So your childhood friends with Sayori. Yeah. Plot twist, they all have crushes on you.
Oh, what? In the game where you play with a bunch of schoolgirls from Japan, all the girls have
Yeah.
crushes on you? Oh,
Yeah,
man.
you gotta write a poem, and with the interface.
What a twist.
Yeah.
Go on.
With the interface, you choose a bunch of words, and with however many words. Let's see.
Do they fuck? Are they fucking in this game?
Nah, there's not fucking.
Zero fucking.
Hey there. Looking to buy?
Do they all have big tits or something?
I'll take a look.
The
Sure,
one with the
here's what I've
purple
got.
hair is big tits.
What? Something with purple hair has big tits? Well, that's actually pretty reasonable. Nothing? Okay.
I don't know.
Oh, look to the side. I'm like looking over and they do the teenage look to the side and bears thing. Like, okay. You're really getting your money out of that animation.
So the purple-haired chick that kind of likes you gives you a book, and the book is like how reality isn't what it seems. You want all the spoilers? Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, Monica, the fucking green-eyed bitch. Yeah, she figures out she's in a game, and so she starts deleting the characters like inside the game, and that's why they start killing themselves. She fucks up with their files so she can be with you forever.
What what?
Yeah.
What a twist! But if you know, see, that part doesn't make any sense either. If you know you're in a game, why would you, like, what's the point at that point? You know.
Because she doesn't want anyone else to have
But-
you.
But Sayori, Yuri, and whatever the fucking other one is don't know they're in a game. So she has to get rid of them so you don't like them. Ah, fuck. Yep, there we go, whatever.
History?
Whatever, I'm just hitting space.
Now that's how real gamers game.
Not a poem, it's a Navi poem.
I feel like part of Epi's goal here was to make me some level of uncomfortable.
Did it work?
No, he's doing a terrible job at it. But I feel like that was his goal.
It was.
Oh, my
He
God.
said you were going to be making choices, and I'm like, I'm still waiting for the choices he was supposed to make.
Yeah, I thought there were gonna be. I forgot how shitty this game is. Now I just want to see the anime girls kill themselves.
No, I just want to see the anime girls kill themselves. Well, it's a game where you literally select options on a screen, like, what level of play did you think? This sounds like it was a really great way to get people's money, and that's about it. Would you say I'm
15 bucks?
probably on track there, Trace?
Yeah, I agree. I concur.
Good.
I concur with your findings, sir.
Yes, I'm taking over the galaxy.
My findings?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. If you're agreeing with something I said, ooh.
I know, it sounds really sus, but so was that game.
What the
Yeah.
fuck is Fitz saying? No, I'm walking away. I am playing Battlefront 2005 and taking over the galaxy.
I should get that. I've always wanted to play those games. And I hear that even with, like, remasters and stuff, they're still very good. I don't know the trueness of that statement. Do you, Trace?
No idea.
Alright, who should we play as? I refuse to play as the rebels. Nah, I'm open to it. The rebels, the fucking droids, the clones, or the Empire? How are we taking over the galaxy today, y'all?
You are taking it over by playing a grandmother. I have no idea if there's any grandmother characters, but yeah.
Navi, what do you think? Rebels, droids, clones, or Empire?
Let's do droids.
Clones.
Because we all know the androids are going to take over the world.
Yeah, okay. I like Trace's explanation. Her explanation's really good.
It really is, to be honest. key holders.
I saw that. I'm aware of the situation there. And I don't think he understands that he's the butt of their joke. And that's my problem with it. That's all.
Hey, over here.
I forgot to put the stupid junk on this thing. You're not going to show us what you were doing, Epi?
No, I have to disable the Discord overlay for this one. Since, what's it called? Since it's so old, if I put the Discord overlay on it, the screen goes black.
Wow. That does sound old. What do you think, Trace? What's your opinion?
I
We
don't
demand-
have it.
We demand answers.
My answer is I don't know what's going on.
7 and A. Some sort of code.
Welcome, Patriot, to Boston Common, the start of the Freedom Trail. Feast your ears and learn more about the historic
Oh, man.
Freedom Trail. And learn the history of Boston Common.
Tell me about the Freedom Trail.
Starting here at Boston Common, follow the red path as it winds its way
Once gonna ask
through
you to do
our
the butt of the whole
great
clan's joke.
city's streets. Markers on the trail are placed at many famous historic sites. See Paul Revere's house, the Old North Church, the Old State House, Bunker Hill, and many more.
Meow. 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 Meow.
So what else have you been meowing, Trace? Other than when, like, Navicats and stuff convince you to make their resume.
I haven't been up to anything.
What? See, that makes me feel bad. Like I'm letting you down because I don't have anything for us to do.
No, like I said, it's not you or anything like that. I'm just
Just a sad kitty?
kind of. And I don't wish to put
Sad
that
kitty
on.
it up.
Yeah, I don't wish to put that on anybody.
You know, as long as I got a heads up, you can always get that ticket and come up and visit. Or we can
Oh.
also, now that gas prices are coming down, which means oil should have come down. I haven't looked. I could also.
Last I looked, it was under 100 a barrel.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's like 380. No, 376 here now.
Hey,
Because that's what will affect plane tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Does this mean we can stop, like, bonding brown people?
Oh, Jesus. Actually, one of the YouTubers I follow is like a news guy. He was talking about, like, with some agreements and stuff, he's like, they need to return all the oil that was taken.
You don't find many of those anymore.
You know that's not going to happen.
No. You're crazy if you think something like that would ever happen. I mean, you can dream, I guess. But
All day in hell.
I think that's a feature of, like, I know how terrible this is going to sound, but I think we've gotten really far away from what war means in the world. Because it is, like, it was 100%. You know, you have something I want, I go and take it, you know? And the way people view things now is like, I don't think you have a good understanding of how the world works and how these things work, you know?
Well, that's because they're so afraid that if you do anything that they're going to bomb everybody and it's going to be a nuclear war.
Yeah, that doesn't help either. You are correct. I can't disagree with that.
I mean, just look at New York. The mayor of New York sent out, nuclear war alerts to the city. I thought that was quite hilarious.
Yeah, that wasn't...
They claimed it was an accident. They didn't mean to do it.
Well, it's
There
not...
was another Hawaii.
Huh?
There was another Hawaii.
Yeah, but up in New York.
Again.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe it, what they did, but it absolutely wasn't the smartest thing. You didn't see that where the mayor, where they did the so the city's been attacked by a nuclear bomb thing. You haven't seen that yet?
No, I haven't. I try to avoid the news.
Oh my god. Let's just say
I get it.
it's not a smart thing. What happened?
Yeah, they literally told people to go to shelter and, people, New Yorkers thought it was the end of the world.
I have a feeling none of them gave a shit.
I'm sure there was a few scared people. Just a few.
Yeah.
Maybe. Wow. all.
It's all so tiresome.
It is. All of this shit is actually pretty tiresome.
So that's this, like, another fucking false alarm from the biggest system we need. What's gonna happen whenever, the big thing happens?
You
You're
know,
gonna believe it.
not to Fallout reference more. I don't want to sound like someone who's just become one of those people, but like that whole universe does describe a lot of people who thought it was just a what's that word?
Yes.
A hoax.
Yeah, or a test. Yeah, a drill. So you do come across a lot of things where so and so died because they thought it was just a drill.
Well, with the constant fuck ups, it's gonna.
I swear this country is starting to turn into. Oh,
This place is a joke.
Yeah.
The Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, I think like anytime you look around, like I always said, it doesn't matter who's in office or etc. Right? I know I've said that to you. It always seems like the same thing's always happening, and I think we are always sort of silently marching to that. And if you look at it from a political side, like people will go, "Yeah, it's the conservatives that are doing that, or it's the liberals." It's like, no,
It's the
more than that.
Republicans.
It's more than that because it
Yeah.
comes from both directions.
And I don't mean this in a racist way. I know I mean it, but it's literally a certain group of people, and no, they're not. It's not Jews, but it's It's money. It's literally lobbying.
Yeah, well,
And
definitely.
Well,
they're putting into lobbying.
did you hear? Tennessee made it illegal for Jews to adopt children.
Nice.
I looked into that, and from what I can see, because what's his name brought that up, they allowed a Christian group to maintain their ban on it. I'm not saying that's great. That's really fucking shitty. But people are making it, this and that. You gotta be careful. They just sort of did okay, yeah, whatever. We're not gonna get involved, is the way it reads.
Well,
And then it comes down to some sort of like individuals' rights, as usual. It's always something about rights.
Hmm.
It always is. It's always, well, states' rights or this rights. It's like, a lot of people get rights for some reason, but not everyone.
Carla,
And that
mhm.
starts to
Mhm.
sound
People
so.
others.
It's pretty long from here.
Yeah, it like you just
I'll
said.
take a look.
I was
Sure.
about to say.
Here's what I got.
It just always becomes this Orwellian crapshoot of some animals are more equal than others. And people always want to point at one group or another, and it's like, it's the whole damn thing.
I don't.
And it's a point of all you're doing is supporting a point of contention instead of going, noticeably the unaffected or this group of people, these wealthy people are now building penis rocket ships to go fuck their way
Straight to
into
the moon.
space,
No, it just. This country is going crazy over. I don't know what, and it's scary.
But it's not just this one if you really start to dig into the numbers.
No, well, yeah.
I don't know. It always is a march to separating people, draw lines. So the second you say something like it's those liberals or it's those conservatives or it's this group or that group, whatever time, every time you're going, let's draw a line and separate more, you're taking the power from the people as a whole. Because instead of going, we have the technology, we don't need to have people starving, you go, no, fuck it. The liberals want to give food to people who do nothing. Or etc.,
Establishment fears unity.
Very much. A system that is very much disliked. The strongest familiar unit is the nuclear family. And society as a whole has done every possible thing to make that non-existent. So, anytime someone tries to come at me with anything, I go, well, does this do more to separate than it does to join people together? So, and I can make, you go, the liberals want to give stuff away, and then you have a more hardline conservative view of things, of people need to earn and work. Okay, both these people can work together. Liberals are more usually creative and stuff. So you can have a group that can come up with new things, but then they need a group that can keep things organized, and that's where your conservatives would come in. And then somewhere in there you got this weird, crazy religious fundamentalism, obviously. I don't know what to say about that. Why that exists. How that continues to be a thing. But it's more separation, if anything. I think what I'm trying to say there is anything that creates more separation you should be weary of. So if someone is telling you to hate a group of people, you really gotta dig down and go, why? What does... Yeah.
Well,
what is to be gained if you convince me to hate this group of people? What do you gain?
I thought, now I could be wrong on this one. I also thought I heard some one state, I don't remember which one, is allowing segregation again. But then I haven't heard much else on it. So that could have been some phony stuff.
Well, see, that sort of goes with that. Why is that being stated as such,
I can't believe she's gone.
People are idiots.
Haven't we suffered enough?
I mean, people go that route.
Out here, you gotta take things one day at a time.
And I think if you start to dig down on any of it and start to go, let's look at this a little more objectively, you start to find these little pieces and parts that sort of
You should have stopped her.
indicate that something a little more weird is going on than you want to consider. Most people obviously don't want to. It's a lot easier to go, the fucking liberals, the fucking conservatives. So. Meow, meow, meow.
Meow.
I know. Next thing you know, I'm gonna have to have a radio show and the frogs are gay. How far are we from that?
You're pretty close.
Pretty close. Hey, I just believe wholeheartedly that there's something else at play. Whether it's just a greedy system that benefits by keeping large swaths of people down and you think you're gonna approach that system by putting it all on one group. I don't think that wins anything.
Thank you. It's like
I thought it was the one world order that was trying to do all this stuff.
When you're stoned and you're young, it's really easy to go, New World Order, and Illuminati and whatnot. But
It's a lot more complicated than that.
yeah, it is, because it's systems working with other systems in tangent and etc. You to think that there's one group of people who are pulling some sort of string that's just not how a complex system like that works. Also,
Maybe constantly trying to kill us, but
if you try to take a group of people and do something in secret, that's a pretty impossible task on its own. So why would you think some one singular group is doing something suspicious in the background?
Okay, I was joking.
Oh no, I'm just saying.
I
Like,
thought you knew me better.
no, I'm just saying in general, the idea of like a conspiracy theory is it becomes more and more absolutely insane when you realize the second you throw any amount of numbers of people at it, what really makes you think you can keep that quiet?
Yeah.
Like,
What I call a good day.
you can't even
Without
keep
it in these stuff.
3 people quiet about something, you know?
Huh?
Like, it always amazes me when they're like, we suspect that the mob or something killed this person. And it's like, we don't know shit until their body comes up during a drought. Like,
Yes.
they were just missing, presumed dead. Like, I'm shocked that that group can keep anything quiet. It's just,
Can't remember the last time I had clean fingernails.
I mean, is there evil shit that occurs? Definitely. I think if you dig down deep into like something like the Clintons or something, those are definitely people who are... Someone's getting killed by trees, and once the right people have passed away of old age, someone somewhere will give up the goods on that.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's the aliens. They're controlling us.
See, and that's... Yeah, who is it? You take like... I think his name was Maxwell Ike. The guy who
Icke.
did... Huh?
David Icke.
David Icke.
Seems to be growing well.
That dude, did a shit ton of hallucinogens in the 90s and was like
Crop's been growing pretty good.
reptile people, right? And that's been his thing since then. Is that they're a shadowy reptile people? And maybe
Yeah, there's a guy at work always fucking quoting him. I really want to punch him in his throat.
I've quoted Ike at you.
all the time.
No,
I've
but like,
quoted
he
his-
genuinely believes David Icke. And like, he says white people are defending the earth from what reptilians, because white people are descended from aliens. It's fucking bizarre, dude. I wish I could record it.
Yes?
So I have quoted plenty of times. Ike's more what's that word? His more stoner
Palatable.
type. Well, palatable, and his more stoner type shit where he's like, all people are one, and how could you, hurt one another? You are, at the end of the day, each other, That type of stuff.
Yes?
Can we trade a few things?
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's definitely a lot more palatable. And that's a hard thing to disagree. Every religious type leader who's ever come across, you look at Jesus, love your neighbor like you love yourself.
Those big ugly bastards.
Yeah,
And
people
we can
forget
find, yeah, they forget that. And we can find more
Anything
things
else
like
about that
that
around here?
in history. Like, this isn't complicated. And that's the same shit he spouts too, outside of the whole reptilian thing. And that's just the sort of shit I think you come across once you do
People are
some
having
fucking
sleepless
shrooms
shit.
or something.
It's making everyone
Like,
cranky.
because it's sort of universal. Like, if I right now gave you a hit of fucking acid, eventually,
Yeah.
when you come out, I can guarantee you with some level of certainty that you would be like, man, we're all one. It's not a long-lasting situation, but I can guarantee you a level of certainty that'll be your opinion for a minute at least. So there's got to be something to that, and then that doubles right back to what I say, that
Yes.
there's always a group, there's always this division,
Yes.
and that's where you should worry. Poor Trace. She's just sitting there, and she's like, this isn't what I expected.
How did I join?
She's
Okay.
like, why do I know these idiots?
It's all my friends.
It's like that opening of Red vs. Blue. You ever wonder why we're here? Oh, on the roof,
Yeah.
dipshit.
Yes.
I mean, another thing to think about with any of that, lots of things, man.
Just wish I had some.
That's what I always say to people on why you don't give, like, 12-year-old fucking hallucinogens. Because that damage literally just compounds over the years. Till you end up with someone like me telling you, like every other religious leader, maybe just love one another. Not even, you know, you don't gotta like. You can hate your neighbor, but love them as a person, you know?
Okay, I have a serious question for you. Now, hear the full story out first, okay?
I'm doing meow, I'm listening.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm listening.
So, you know I have Andrew, my son, the one that's in Japan, and he's married.
Yeah,
Okay. So,
I've heard these things in the past.
yes.
No.
Andrew had messaged me and said, okay, I'm sending a part to your house. I'm like, great. I'll message you when it gets here. He's like, okay. So,
Apart?
a part. He needs a motorcycle part. And Japan will not ship it to an APO address. So he had it shipped here and then wants me to ship it to him. Or that's what the original plan was.
Yeah.
So when the part came in, I messaged him. I'm like, hey, dude, your part's here. You know, let me know when I need to send it. And he's like, well, just give it to Taylor. When she's there, she's going to send it. And I'm like, oh, Taylor's coming? You know who Taylor is. Taylor's his wife.
I'm listening.
And he's like, yeah, it's hush hush.
It's hush hush.
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
I'm like, what's hush hush about it, buddy?
I don't know. Anyways. So, that was like 3 weeks ago. So I'm expecting to hear from Taylor, right? And let me know she's in town, right?
Yeah.
That would be logical. Haven't heard a word from her. Not one. I'm cool with it. That's fine. So I called my other son. And I asked him, I was like, so do you know when Taylor's supposed to be in town? And he goes, oh, she's in town right now. She's borrowing our car. So I think the hush hush is supposed to be from me. And I was like, oh, it would be nice, you know, to know that she was coming in.
Yes.
You know? And so Chris was telling me, he's like, well, you should call her or text her and meet up to have lunch with
Powering
her.
up. Protectron on. Please stand.
So let me
clear.
ask you,
This is now a
would you
fire zone.
No.
have the inclination to meet up with someone who has done absolutely nothing to reach out to you?
No.
And apparently this is all a hush-hush trip?
Nope.
Why is it a hush hush trip? I wonder if the hush hush is
Me!
supposed to
I'm
be
not
you.
supposed to know.
Yeah, that she's there.
Yeah,
Which is that the one you like or don't like?
don't like.
Ah,
But I'm always cordial.
well,
I'm
good
not
on
mean
you.
to her,
Good on you.
you know? She's always welcome. You know?
Well, she's giving you another reason to not like her.
Yeah. And then my son's like, well, she's had, she had a horrible time while she was at her dad's. I'm like, oh, boo-hoo.
I'm just trying to give her the shit you wanted.
Well, no, Andrew wanted the shit. Chris is telling me this. And I'm like, oh, why was the time bad? Well, it's not my story to tell. Whatever.
You're ugly enough.
Exactly.
That does make a lot of sense. Why? Like, I hate when someone does that. I don't want to talk about it. Well, why did you even state it then?
Yeah. So, it just, it's really has rubbed me in the wrong direction.
I haven't really ever seen you rubbed in the right direction. So.
Excuse me, don't be a meanie head. I'm always nice.
Okay.
When am I
But-
not nice?
I'm not saying you're not. Well, when you say things like, I think you know what you said.
Not. I'm not a mean person.
You're not a mean person. You are correct.
I try to be an honest person, and I speak directly.
Sometimes you're nabby level of honest, and that's a dangerous level.
Yeah, well,
I'm just telling you.
I know. I know I'm not perfect. But I'm honestly so annoyed with the whole situation. You know?
It does. It is like. It's an annoying thing because there's no reason for it.
Yeah. And Taylor and I have nothing in common except for Andrew. You know, that's it. And that's because he's my son.
Got it.
That is the only reason we have anything in common. So I don't have a whole lot to talk to her about in general. You know? So it's not like I can have a worthwhile conversation with her.
Oh, and define worthwhile conversation. Some conversations are just conversations.
Well, literally any conversation with her is
Some,
a generic conversation. You know?
some, yeah, that's
So-
definitely not the best. You are correct.
Yeah, so I just am gonna.
Yeah, all about it.
Well, I've said my piece now. I'm done.
Those big ugly bastards.
Unless Andrew calls me. And then I'll yell at him.
Yeah, yell at him.
You want this, but I can't get it to you.
Basically. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
That's true. We've had this discussion before about horses and water.
Yep. And that's how I feel about people too.
Yeah, camels are better than horses too. Or people too.
Mhm.
I mean, but why?
Why what? Why ask why?
Well, you say this negative thing about people, but you are people.
I know. And like I said, I didn't say I was perfect.
I'm not making that statement.
What statement are you making?
Just that.
Hope this rain lets us in.
There's always a statement like that.
Yeah.
So and so is better than people.
Hey, Carla.
Well, you are
Need to pick
people.
something up? Road's pretty
So
long
what?
from here.
I'll take a look. Sure.
You break it, you buy it.
You're people taking a very black and white view of people.
Like most people in general.
Well, I think most people, like most people in general, I think what they just don't like groups of people.
That's racist.
Maybe slightly. I never defined the group though, so it could be any group of people.
You can be racist to anybody. If the Hulkster loses 109 matches, is it the Hulkster's fault?
What?
Exactly.
What was that fucking statement?
I think it's COVID talking for him.
He's got the COVID brain. No, that's just him. Met him before.
Hey, Epi,
Yeah.
what variant of COVID do you have?
Whatever the newest and most popular one is.
Yeah, apparently. Whatever the news says I have.
Whatever the news is. Last month I had support Ukraine variant.
Yeah, last month I had support Ukraine 19. This one I have the monkeypox variant, but COVID.
Ah, yeah, okay, monkeypox, definitely.
Let's see, what else is there? What other forms of COVID are there?
Well, there's June. Everything gets a rainbow, unless you're in the Middle East.
July.
I forget what this month gets, but it's got something. They all have some.
It had sparklers.
It did have sparklers.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna ask you.
I wouldn't ask me anything. I am obviously extremely autistic.
Nah.
Like an unhealthy amount.
Oh, what was I gonna say?
Is it a question about how long we've been in the triple digits? Because it's been a few days, weeks.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe considered meowing. Oh, what garbage is in here?
Don't call me garbage.
I would never call Trace garbage.
I'm a garbage can, not a garbage can't.
What was I gonna say? God damn it.
What is this? Schizo. Canadian safety items? Bro, are you using a paint can to grill with an oven grate? You remember when you asked me what sort of redneck I he is? It's just surrounded by weed growing.
It's funny.
It's the fucking most Fitz picture I've ever seen.
I don't
It's
want to look at it.
some middle-aged, droopy titted white lady.
I think he broke.
I knew it. I knew
Well,
it
the
was working.
fucking image fits to the max. There's like, I dare you, find me something more Fitz like.
I am once again asking you to unban someone that was never in Meow Talk.
You know, he never comes in VC anymore. I think we trolled him right out of it.
Good.
I should have put those alcoholic Mountain Dews in the fridge.
That would have been smart.
Well, I don't know if I want to drink them this weekend.
Yeah, but they'll be cold for later.
Exactly.
I'm telling you,
What
joining
do you
Skinny
think you are
Malone's crew
trying
was
to
the best
snipe me,
decision
little
we
AI
ever made.
clone fuck?
Look at this place.
I still say Malone's weak. We caught that detective. Snooping around, and what does he do? Locks him up. Like he ain't got the balls to just kill him.
Well, don't let his new girl hear that. She'll start swinging that bat of hers at your face until there ain't no face left. Get him, you mark!
I feel like this game is a collect garbage simulator.
Oh.
I love this. Oh my god. This is the most realistic thing I've ever seen in a game. So
Why?
you can access these terminals. Let me read this. This was a message to an employee. Transit personnel only. Dear employee ID, I regret to inform you that your station, Park Street, will be closing due to a purchase agreement with Vault Tech Corporation. As such, we will be going through our records and redistributing our many valued employees to other stations and departments. The automated system should identify your new location. You have relocated to employee terminated. Thank you, and we look forward to many more years working with you.
Oh God. That is a wonderful termination notice.
That is, whoever put that in there, just, they just knew. That's all I could say.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, huh, I've worked for corporations. Holy shit.
That's it. Locked tight.
I'll be right back. I have to go to the bathroom.
Oh no.
I know.
Has to
I'm
her
gonna-
a pee.
Yes, my eyeballs are starting to float.
Meow meow. Happy.
I'm just wrecking the Republic shit, and there's nothing they can do about it.
Hi, Happy. Why are you wrecking their shit?
Because it's right. The Republic is a corrupt system.
I think any system given enough time becomes a corrupt system. And nothing.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
can
the Republic's
fucking-
existed for a few thousand years.
Exactly. I don't think there's anything you can do about it. I think systems will always coalesce to some sort of just disgusting display of power over other people. I don't know.
You think droids don't need a life support system?
Hell? Who's there? What the?
All my brother's keeper.
You've been
Oh,
fucked
fuck.
again!
I can't see!
Dude, imagine how pissed God was. You were the first person to kill. And when, like, he asked, hey man, where's your brother? I don't fucking know. Am I supposed to look after him?
Yes. Who? I don't know. But yes, you're supposed to look after them.
Fuck Kane looking after him. And then God's like, hey, Kane, where's Abel?
What I love about those stories, because it's just like, it's shit like that where they're just like, huh. And I always wonder like how much time was put into like all that, you know what I mean? Like our fucking ancient ass ancestors who wrote shit like that and came up with that shit, or tried to transcribe these ideals. Like that shit had to be a whole fucking journey. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, hey, what stories do we write down? Yeah. Hey, they're gonna understand this is like a bit metaphorical and, you know, supposed to help with life lessons, right? Yeah.
That's the favorite thing. I mean, like, reading that shit's like talking to me, I guess. Everything's fucking metaphors, but you don't understand that it's all metaphors. Who else do we know? How do we know these were written by regular everyday people? Well, I know this one asshat that just constantly speaks in fucking metaphors.
Mm-hmm. So I always wondered where the metaphor is about, you know, so Adam and Eve are basically brother and sister because Eve was supposed to be created from Adam's rib, right? So that means DNA-wise they would be siblings. So they have a kid. How does the world get populated? Did she just keep pumping them out and then they have
think I can pick
incestual relations?
Somewhere along the line, it turns into 12 different tribes of fucking Israel.
Well, but where do those people come from if it started from Adam and Eve?
Fuck, that's a good question for not me.
And that's where, when you look at that shit, you gotta ask yourself, you know, you can't look at it and go, yeah, this is obviously transcribed history. Like, there's no fucking way. You know, because they also say shit like they were, what do they say? Like they were 10 feet tall and shit and lived, like a couple hundred years, and it's like, they didn't have a fucking idea. And then
relative to who, they kept time log differently in several different cultures.
Exactly. So it's like they really didn't have any fucking idea, and then you want to look at this shit as though it's a way to like handle the world now. They had no fucking clue, and you don't have a fucking clue now. Why are you trying to use this as your system for that?
And they wonder why we have so many non-believers of the Christian faith.
Well, my view has always been like any of them. They're always, those same stories are repeated in other things, you know? Fucking, okay, you take a second. Let's say Jesus was a person and he was alive. You look at the shit he said, okay, is it possible maybe he traveled to the fucking like Asian continent and learned a bunch of Buddhism and shit? Because he seems to basically just quote that shit from word almost, you know? Love your neighbor. That's pretty common in that. Like, these things aren't complicated. And I think it'd be better if you go, you know, don't try to interpret this as though it is how everything should be now. Interpret it as fucking meta, like you would a book, like a regular book, like we just talked about Animal Farm.
Mm-hmm.
If you picked up Animal Farm, would you try to build a faith off of that? No.
Oh, I'm sure there's somebody out there that would.
Okay, but reasonably, right now, knowing what it is, you know it's a novella, someone trying to describe the issues that they believed and had with Stalinism.
Well,
like
yeah,
this...
but I'm just saying. All I said was, there is stupid people out there that would try to do it, you know?
Yeah.
That's all I said.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just making an argument that maybe it should, instead of being a faith or anything, it should be, hey, here's how people at the time tried to transfer the knowledge they had. You know? Like you look at, one of the things is, And I only know this because of a Lil Wayne song, so. But like, it was something like, "Hey, don't fuck women on their period." You know. When you don't have a lot of like access to the ability to take a shower after and stuff, being covered in like any sort of blood and stuff's generally not going to be the greatest, right?
Exactly.
It doesn't mean that they're like that women are in any shape or way dangerous doing that. It's when you don't have access to medical technology, that much blood related situations, probably not the smartest, you know? And there's a ton of things that are like that where people just turn it into this reason to hate and shit. I mean, look at fucking like slave owners in the when that was a thing. They literally attempted to use the Bible as a justification for it, you know? The same book where a man literally says, you know, love your neighbor and treat each other equally and shit, you find a way to twist and turn into a justification for owning another human being. Probably not a great sign.
Why is that thing so loud?
Changing subject. Where is Kitten?
Project Kitten?
Yep.
I don't know. Wherever they're at. Am I Project Kitten's keeper?
Well, yeah, usually she tells you everything. Has she been on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know where she is. Actually, I got something funny. One second.